In this demo, I'll show you how to create a new InDesign document and place text and photos in it. Let's create a new document. We're now creating a book or library. A document is a single file where you build your layout. A book is a specialized container. We use a book when we have multiple documents for more complex project to synchronize styles, page numbers, and items like that. Library is a collection of local assets like icons, colors, graphics. So you would store locally so you can easily access them across multiple InDesign files. Let's create a document. The required project size is 8.5 inches by 11 inches. As the file will be used as an online magazine, I personally prefer orientation similar to a website, a landscape orientation. But it is up to you if you want to create a portrait orientation. Make sure we do not check facing pages. For our first InDesign project, we want to keep it simple. And also for an online magazine, for on-screen viewing, facing pages doesn't usually provide the best reader's experience. I will check primary text frame, which is a great way for us to bring in text stories fast on a large scale document. I'll keep the column as 1 and the gutter as default. Those can be changed in the document. For margins, the minimum amount of margin we want to have will be 1/2 and 1/2. But those can be changed once we're in the document. Bleed, we do not need bleed because this document won't be printed. We're creating a document for online viewing only. Slug is an area designers and printers place their notes. You don't have to have the slug for now. We'll create a new document. Now you can see I have 3 tool palette here. I have a pages tool. We have master or parent pages. If you're using an older version of Classroom in a book or older version in InDesign learning books, you'll see you have pages panel, but here you see master page instead of parent page. Those are the same tools. And then those will be the page or document pages. For page 1, you see this icon shows you that this frame is a primary text frame. Click on that. We're ready to bring in our first text story. Place my first story is in a Word file. I want to open that. The story is in this text frame. Now I want to create more pages. I don't have to create more than 1. With the primary text frame, it will generate additional pages as needed. File, place. The second article is longer. Open that. You can take a look of that. It disappears while you see 2 additional pages generated automatically. That's why we use primary text frames. For my third article, I would like to change to use a different grid structure than this no structure. I want to create a page structure in a new parent page, which is essentially a template. I created that template or parent page under Layout menu, Margins and Columns. For the following pages, of the third article, I want to use a 3-column page structure. For now, I'll keep the gutter as generic. We'll discuss the best way to determine your gutter size later on. Click on OK. In this parent page, I want to create a primary text frame like that. When I draw out a frame using my type tool, I draw out a normal text frame. I click on that, you can see the icon change to the primary text frame icon. So now I'm ready. I would pull this parent or template into my document. So you can see page 5 is added. I can activate the primary text frame on page 5, but I don't have to. Under File menu, Place, the third article, Open. You can see my cursor would have this loaded text. When I move it into the primary text frame, I can see that parentheses. Click on that, take a look at this. Oh, see? Additional pages added to accommodate the flow of text. So for my last article, I can create a different page structure. You can have as many parent pages as you want to have, depending on your design idea. New parent or new template, conform to that. Go into the layout menu, margins and columns. This time, I want to have a larger top margin, say maybe 1 inches. I want to have, I'm thinking I want to have 5 columns, and I want to conform to that. For my last article, I create 1 page. I don't have to calculate the number of words I have in that story. I don't have to calculate how many pages I need to have for that story because I have the primary text frame to help me. On this page, I want to create a primary text frame like that. I want to create more text frames so the information will be placed into 2 separate containers. For the first text frame, I want to make that the primary text frame. For the second one, I want to make the text flow from this to this. To do that, I just need to click on this little anchor point, which is called an output. In the text frame, you have an import on the top left corner under the anchor point that you resize the text frame, the import and output. Click on that output. Click. You can see the cursor becomes loaded and move it anywhere inside the second text frame and click. So now these 2 frames are linked. How do I know? What I can do is to go under View, Menu, Actions. I want to show text thread. With text thread showing, I can see how the texts are threaded. So now with the new page, no document page, I can go to my, do I have that? Okay, let me reapply that new parent page changes, and then I can place my last story. I can place it here. You can see the text are linked from here to here. So now you can see with primary text frames, we can bring in all the text with a few clicks. InDesign will generate all of those pages depending on how many pages you need per story. So a parent page, as you can see, can lay out a grid structure. Besides that, the parent page can have as many visual elements as you want to, because it serves as a visual template. For example, for my B parents, I want all the pages applied with the B parent to have a tab. I will make a tab, and let me give it a few color, and I want the tab to have round corners on the right side. Round corner on the right side, I say OK. When I have a visual component on my parent page, which is my template, all the document pages with that parent would share the same visual component. Later on, we'll add page numbers. In the parent pages, we'll add a navigational structure so that your viewer can click to the home page or the cover page, the previous page, next page, and department header pages. So that's what we use parent pages for. Now we created a new InDesign document. We placed in the text information. I'd like to create, I want to also bring in some photos. First, let me delete that. For my second article, I want to have a photo here on the first page. I want to use this image frame tool to create an image frame here. And then under File, I want to place, go to my Photos folder. I need a vertical looking photo like that. Open, I want to place an image here. And the next page, I'm thinking 3 images. I can create 3 separate image frames, but that become a tedious workflow, and also it's a bit hard to control consistency, the alignment, the size distribution. Let me delete those. If you have multiple images, it's easier for you to just draw one big frame. Make sure you fill your frame into your grid structure like that, and then use your up arrow key from the keyboard. Click once, click twice, so 3 images. Now the distribution, alignment, and size are perfect. We're ready to place 3 images. I want to choose these 3 images, open them, and then click them into those frames. So those images are not placed in a perfect way. For example, for this image, I want this hiker to be in the center, right? The height and the feet all cropped out. So I click on this image frame. Under Object menu, I want to fit that image to the frame. Fit frame proportionally. So that looks better. And also, I like to have that round corner, similar to the round corner I applied to the type I showed you a bit earlier. Under properties, I can create a round cornered image frame. Let me link those. 4 corners, they're linked. I'm gonna say OK. So I like how this image appears on my document. I think this round corner frame and how the image fits into the frame proportionally will work for multiple images across multiple stories. So I want to save all those attributes as a style. In object styles, let me create a new object style. Name it intuitively. I'll name it as basic round corner photo. The basic attribute, I want to check off the ones I'm not using. First, I want to check off the most of the text. Footnote, I don't need them now. I can always update them later. I do want to keep the frame fitting options. Text wrap, I'll show you how to do the text wrap in a later demo. For now, I want to check off. I will keep the stroke, corner options, size and position. I will check that off. And then everything looks fine. I want to click on OK. So with that style sheet saved, I can click on any image and then just choose that style. And same here. I can go to the previous page, click on that photo, and choose that style. Object styles, they function as saved preset, as you can see. Those styles allow you to apply a consistent set of visual attributes. Stroke, fill, later on we'll learn how to create effect like drop shadow, text wrap, and other attributes. So those styles are very important in design. In InDesign, we handle large amount of information and multiple pages. Those style sheets would make sure the document have consistency and harmony across the entire document. Let's take a look of the articles we place in. If you noticed, the last article I placed in have some strange looking character combinations like this. I see a recurring combination of those characters. Those are not intentional punctuations or words. Those are leftover from some codes. Those are very common issues. When we place a document from online to different word processing software would have some leftover little code and the garbled characters we want to clean up. If I take a look of the characters, this is a grouping. I guess that should be let's see, have it, that should be replaced by just it, right? It is, that is my guesses. I want to give it a try. I want to replace it, but now replacing all of them manually. In InDesign, there is an easy way. We want to go to Edit, Find and Change. Before I can find and change, let me copy Command and C. If you're using a PC, that Control and C make a copy. And then we can go to Edit, Find and Change, Command V or Control V to paste it in and change that with this. And then if I want this searching feature to go forward in my story or the whole document, search now the selection. I want to change that to be saved the whole document where I know those characters only belong to this specific article, the story. I want to do a document search and search forward and then change all. So 4 replacements were made, and I want to go backward, change all. It seems like we only have 4 of those groupings, and then we're done. And here we have a few more. Like here, Command C and go to Find and Change, Command V. So I want to replace that with the S. And then for my document, I want to change all and backward and change all. So gradually you'll be able to fix all those issues like this one. Recap and key takeaway. When you start a long document, it's important to begin with system thinking. The method you use at the beginning should support efficiency, consistency, and repeating elements as the document grows. In this demo, we created an InDesign document starting with a single page. We used primary text frames to automatically add pages and flow text. We placed images properly in object frames. We used parent pages to apply a consistent page grid structure. We cleaned up imported text using the Find and Replace feature. Now we have a multi-page InDesign document that's ready for building a more refined structure, flow, navigation, and visual layout that support the content and the brand promise.